It's been many years since we've been here. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe even more years than that since we've been here. But you might remember we helped make some trails around this property. I think it's either 12 or 20 acres, I can't remember for sure. But today Mark's wanting to make a little bit of extend his road here a little bit back to his main trails. He's been using his bucket and tooth bar, but he's having trouble getting it smooth the way he wants it before he puts in the base level of rock. So we decided we'd bring our pull-type box blade and help him out.
Now, I'd talked to Mark before we came, and my understanding was that we were going to be building a road here a little bit, and I decided that the pull-type box blade was exactly what I needed for this project.
Now, between these 2 holes here and the first tree, the first stump there, you just want to put the fabric down right there and put number 2s on that, kind of like it is. You think it's a good elevation?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we'll just work on filling these first little holes here, smoothing all that out.
Just smoothing it, and then we'll put the cloth down.
Okay.
What I didn't realize was that we were going to be working on this existing driveway, and he was wanting to cut down some of this existing driveway, at least behind the tractor here. There used to be a house to the left and rear of the tractor, and the driveway went right up to the garage there, and so some of this road has existed for a long time, and it's really well packed. The rest of it, from just behind the tractor all the way forward there, is new road, and it heads off toward that white pile you saw in front of the tractor. Mark wanted to cut down this near side to try to flatten the road just a little bit, to take out some of the side-to-side slope. For the first couple of passes here, I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to have enough downforce to dig out as much as Mark wanted dug out, but turns out it's working pretty well. I thought I was only going to be spreading loose rock, so I brought the 1025R rather than a larger tractor, and that's so I could have the benefit of the shorter turning radius and just much easier to navigate in some of these tight spaces. Mark was having trouble with his bucket of getting a nice smooth surface here. He would have humps in it, and you would have the same experience with a 3-point box blade. And this is where a pull-type box blade shines. When a tractor has a short wheelbase, it does a lot of bouncing. You can actually even see the tractor's rear end moving up and down as we go along there. But with this pull-type box blade, those vertical movements are minimized and aren't translated directly to the surface area I'm working on. Of course, the disadvantage can be seen here. It's much harder to turn around and overall a bit harder to work in tight spaces. And while we don't have a great overhead view before we started here, the road base Mark had worked on was wavy, and he had a hard time getting it level and smooth. Well, we were able to fix that up in just a couple of passes. So even with the more painful turning, this makes the job easy.
If it were me, I would start with the number 2s down there where there was no existing driveway.
Okay, yeah.
And then...
Because, if we run out up here, it's not a big deal.
The other place to maybe have some is down there, but right in here, there is zero need.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard packed underneath here.
Yeah. I think this is an okay slope. If we want to put any more or take any more slope out of it, I'd have to do something.
I think it's okay, really.
Okay.
It's always had some, as you remember.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the natural.
It'll be nice to be able to drain water across that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, do I need to go any wider there?
No, sir. I'm just going to stop the road right here, just one vehicle width.
Okay.
And then at some point, I may spread some of this stuff out, but that's only for people to turn around.
Okay, let me get out of the way then. See me like tractors in the way.
Making it look good. I can try to throw a staple in to hold
like on
that
a fold
corner
or something.
Yeah. You probably just hit rock and quit. Yep.
Now this is Mark's 3033R. We'll talk more about it in a little while, but he's had it for a couple years now. I want you to notice that he's using a heavy hitch tooth bar that he got for his 1025R. So the tooth bar is not quite wide enough for the bucket, but it works fine.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I had forgotten at this point, but Mark has a heavy hitch for the back of his tractor. I should have chided him for not having it on there. We may not be doing the most professional job, but we are using a technique here that's kind of standard, I think, for building a driveway or any sort of a rock road. Start with this geotextile and then use 2-inch rock on top of that, and then use road pack or 53s or crusher run, whatever, on top of that.
You still got about a third of a bucket.
Yeah, I may not want any right on this edge here. I forgot about that. I've got to put more.
Oh, yeah. One more.
Let's do another turn. What do you think? Just the one width right in there, Mark, or do you want to try to put some beside it too?
Well,
I mean,
I'm not
that'll
sure
be
I made
enough.
the road wide enough here. Given the fact that it's got hard pack under it, maybe we're okay.
I never use this anyway.
This stuff's kind of amazing.
Oh, it'll work, but
Yeah. I mean, it drains right through.
You heard me allude to it there. While this approach is the professional approach to do a driveway, I always just put down 73s or 3/4 inch down to dust right on the ground, and it seems to work fine for me. It seems those 2-inch always work their way back up to the surface when I use them.
Okay, you got this positioned the way you want it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Gonna
if you
turn
kinda
right
drop-
in here somewhere, so
yeah, and then I'll turn it
You're
after
happy?
the.
if I dump right here, you're okay?
Yes, sir.
I may have got more dirt than I got rock, it looked like.
A lot of dirt, gravel in there. Does that work?
Did you want, it's come this way a good bit?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
I'm okay with that. I'm kind of counting on this as the corner,
What's up?
and then when we move some of this pile, we'll have more room.
Okay.
Say again?
Whenever you move some of this pile, we'll have more room
Yeah, okay.
for.
I think I'll rock
for
pretty heavy
gravel.
right in here since I've got to go over it to get to the...
Yeah. But this way, I can get you set up for the 22s or for the number 2s.
Yeah.
And I think down here, I am going to put fabric over both sides.
Okay.
Down here where it starts to turn to dirt.
Yeah. That's perfect.
You happy with that, or am I?
He needs to pull it a little bit. Okay.
Now this rock in my bucket here is supposed to be 53s, but it's some of the worst I've ever seen if it is. It's almost all dust, limestone dust. I don't believe I've ever seen a load of this style rock that's that bad. Bottom of the barrel, as they say.
You're out.
Well, now I know how wide my tractor tires are.
Yes.
I think I'll wait on the 4-foot material until he gets this down.
Yeah.
Now here's a good look at the number 2s. This is 2-inch that's been washed, so it doesn't have any dust in it. We didn't have a lot of that on hand, so we saved it for the section of road which is new.
Yeah, the number 2s are intended for this first layer, but we just don't need them up there. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that folding over.
Are you?
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
rather not have it too far off the edge.
Oh, you didn't want it out there?
Well, I don't have much support out here.
Okay.
I think this is going to lay down and stay.
It should.
great.
Yeah, it should.
You want this one?
Sure.
I'll get on mine then and we can work together. I think I'll unhook my little box for a little bit.
Okay, sounds great. I mean, and we'll just use all the twos down here, I think.
I think that's wise. Folks, it's been years since I've tried to lift a heavy load with a 1 series without rear ballast. I hope you understand why I'm doing so today. I've had that rear box blade, pull type box blade on it, and I just didn't bring any ballast with me. But I've got rim guard in the tires, I've got these starter wheel weights. I just don't have 3-point ballast, and I don't see how people do it. I mean, tractor feels totally unsafe. It's bounces around, rides horribly. And yet there still seems to be a large part of the 1025R population like, oh no, I don't need rear ballast, I don't need it. I don't understand. I think this was a good reminder for me of just how crazy it is. I'm not going to say dangerous. I mean, I guess it is dangerous to some degree, but typically you're not going to turn the tractor over. You're just going to have the rear end off the ground all the time. It's just unhandy, and it just doesn't use the full capacity of the tractor. Okay, my rant's over. Mark spent his career as an executive in a large corporation here in Indianapolis area, but he seems totally at home out here. It's fascinating, and how much more experienced he is in the 2 or 3 years that he's lived here and had that little tractor. He had a 1025R for about 2 weeks, decided it was too small, traded it for that one. I think it's got somewhere around 1,000 hours on it now, so he's really used that thing. And it looks like new. He's taking good care of it too.
How tight that 3 will turn.
Mark, you know what I've enjoyed best today is seeing the experience you've gained on your tractor.
Well, watching you.
Well, maybe so, but you've also got a few hours under your belt too.
Yeah, it's true. 900 on that.
Wow. And I believe it's been 2 years since we've been here.
I think so.
How many acres again, Mark?
This is 12, and then there's another 40 acres of forest that are owned by HOAs around us.
Okay. And you have donated this land to the county now.
Right. Yeah.
So you had set it aside as a, what was the classification you had given it?
Yeah, when we first came in, it was through the DNR. They offer a program called Classified Forest program, and in essence, nobody can develop the land, but I mean, if they do, like if you sell it and they develop it, they have to pay the back taxes.
Okay.
Because you get a tax break if you classify your forest. But then we decided to just donate the house and all the land to Hamilton County. So this will be sort of what they call a passive park, where it won't be playgrounds and things like that. It'll be a nature preserve, but there will be visiting scientists living at the house.
Oh, okay.
And interns living there too, and then green startups who maybe can't afford their first year of office space.
Yeah.
They'll be able to go in there and use one of the offices. So it's kind of going to be a center for education around conservation and biology.
Meanwhile, you'll stay here as long as you want to live, right? So you
Right.
stay here, and so the donation's already happened, but you're living here until such time that you and your wife decide you no longer want to live here. Or,
Right. Or they carry us out.
Yeah. Either way, and well, either way, it's a good deal because this is in this particular city, and we're in Carmel, Indiana. In this particular city, there's very little space like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you looked really hard to find this property.
We did, and that's how we met you and Christy through or the realtor we both used.
Yep. We were both looking for property with some space. We had to have equipment, and you wanted something that was going to be natural. We want to tear something up, and you wanted to make it look more natural.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. No, there just aren't very many places where they leave the trees up. And fortunately, all the forest around us provides habitat for animals that have been losing habitat to development.
Yeah.
And so we have an amazing diversity of birds and mammals and insects, obviously. And so through Hamilton County, we've learned a lot about what we should be doing to encourage that, which is, get rid of invasives. And I'm holding up a Amur honeysuckle. And you can recognize these by the parallel leaves, they're alternate leaves, I guess I should say, or I forget now.
So there's two different
scientific
types of
terms.
honeysuckle. There's this viney honeysuckle that
Yes,
stays on
Japanese
the ground.
vining honeysuckle.
And that's an invasive as well,
You bet,
right?
you bet.
And then this is the one that looks more like a tree.
Right. So all this that you see around is what I've missed in the past on honeysuckle. But you have to be able to cut out the honeysuckle and not the dogwood, because the dogwood are good and the spice bush are good. They
Can you just
produce
cut them at the
berries.
ground, or how do you get rid of them?
Yeah, we cut these at the ground, and then we put a drop of glyphosate or Tordon on the little
Right on the remaining stem.
Yes.
Okay.
And that does a really good job. But they hide, they just hide
Yeah.
really well.
And they sprout up quick too.
Yeah.
Now you have a website where you go through a lot of what you've done here, and you have pictures and videos of the wildlife you've seen. Can you tell us what your website is?
Yeah, it's threeforkspreserve.org.
Look at that. He even has a poster that he's wearing on his back.
My youngest daughter made the logo. So
Well,
yeah.
check out the site. We've got video of the original trail that we helped you put in here, and we had a lot of fun then. And it's just great to come back and visit and see all the progress. And I think we've got some more stuff we're going to come back and help with maybe next spring.
Yeah, I like the ideas. And then when this all comes up and it's a native prairie, think about how many animals will live here. Should be great.
Yeah. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it.
Did Christy ever let you get that 3043 you wanted?
Did I? Yeah, I got a 3046.
Oh, you got 3046.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
feels just like this one, only it's a little more powerful.
Yeah.
For this type of work, you don't know the difference.
That's cool.
I think I've got 9 tractors now.